We just found out about the Charter Commission and under the Portland government setup that every once in a while they have to convene a charter group. And the charter group looks at the charter itself and can make changes. And there's 20 commissioners. And here's the thing that really floored me. That if 15 of the commissioners say, yes, we're going to do this, whatever it is, we're going to give more money for the homeless, whatever they want to do. They don't have to go through the council. They can bypass the council by getting 15 votes and putting it on the ballot, and you and I decide if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Wow. I never heard of this charter commission. Yeah. So we're working on a lot of stuff on trying to do that. And everybody's got to keep working. Don't get discouraged. Mm-hmm. And tonight we're going to go and we're going to interview the candidates for mayor and also the city council.
You're going after this little protest here, you're going to a meeting, right? No,
well, it's a forum.
A forum? For the mayor, for city council
for the mayor,
positions?
Well, there's 3 openings coming up. The mayor and 2 city council places. And I think 6 candidates are going to be there, including Jefferson Smith, who really surprised me. First time I went in to listen to Jefferson, I didn't like him. Because him and I were involved in something else. And we were on opposite sides. So I didn't like him. But he's a really interesting guy. And the more I learn about him, the more I like him.
I'll keep my eye out on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a showman, and he's kind of, but he's not condescending. Mary Nolan is condescending. And I will not vote for Amanda, so I'm stuck. Because when Amanda voted for the JTTF, that was it. That was a deal breaker for me.
We told them back then.
Yeah.
They're going to lose their vote.
I think my testimony before the council was that if you vote for this, it's a deal breaker.
Yep.
You can be the greatest council person or mayor from this point on, and I will not vote for you because you voted for this. And we're already seeing scandals coming out. Yeah. The whole Occupy, there were 18 mayors or 19 on the telephone conference call, and everybody is doing the same thing. So all of a sudden, our guys...
The big crackdown on Occupy, organized through the feds.
But they have the same stuff on, these riot police. I mean, they look like robots. Every one of them are like that. So where did that come from? And the way they're doing it is very similar. They're overpowering small groups. They're using horses, which we're trying to get away from the police. They're jamming people that are just standing there. And some babies got pepper sprayed and pushed by the horses and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think children should go to demonstrations. However, they have the right to do it. And you can hear the protesters say, "We are Americans. We are peaceful." You know, and what they're doing is they're trapping them, and then they're pushing them with the horses. So they bring the horses on the sidewalk. They're pushing them into the street. The cops out there, the riot cops, are saying, "Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk." And then they go into the crowd and they grab people by the hair. I mean, people that are not doing anything except their body is part of the protest. So
nothing wrong with that.
No, people still, are on the illusion that they can just go to these things and not take a risk. They are taking a risk because I think the cops are all nuts.
Yeah. And it can turn at any minute, and we see it does. Yeah. It doesn't take much, and they're off the handle, and you're going to get violated or assaulted.
Yeah, if we did to the cops what they're doing to us, we'd all
be in jail.
Yeah.
Got anything to say, Roberto?
We gotta go.
You gotta go?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Over to the co-op for the candidate forum. For the candidates mayor forum. Can I make a little travel log here?
Yeah.
I'm making my Portland. Come to Portland. If you're suicidal, buy a bus ticket or a train ticket. Go to the toy store, buy a toy gun, paint it black. Hop on the train or bus, come to Portland, get out on the street, and you'll eventually get your wish, because the police will help you with assisted suicide.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, what a reputation for a city to have.
The only problem with that is we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be
The problem is that it happens in Portland, and they're supposed to have protocol. They're supposed to have a mental health unit, but instead they shoot the people here. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand.
Me
And
neither.
it was good to see you at the Police Review Commission last night, and hopefully people understand more about that. More about the Portland City Charter process, because it's a way to change the charter of the city, which is the Constitution of the city, and hopefully people are making attempts to put language in there that will help the community. It will make things like the police responsible, not just to the city commissions, because they've got their finger, the city has their finger in those commissions and never lets them do their work properly. Candidates need to be asked about the Charter Commission. Do they know what it is? Will they support it? Will they get funded?
Some of your questions for tonight, huh?
Yeah, those, you know, but they need to be seen. I mean, you'll put it out in the public for this next election. And what was the other thing we were talking about?
Well, you got the Charter Commission, you got, one of the interesting questions we're going to ask is, we sit in on a subcommittee under the Charter Commission, and Mayor Adams is getting very nervous, because I think he realized that this commission has a lot of power if they want to use it.
And you guys are tapping into it. People are starting to use this power we have that are available.
Well, the mayor and some of the people are trying to shut it down, and they're shutting it down. Well, it seems to be early, because the commission hasn't spent all their money, and they don't want money. They just wanted more time. But the mayor said point blank to one of the commissioners, "It's over. Your end is March 3rd, and that doesn't allow them to carry on their work, so they can go for to put this stuff on the ballot so the people can vote on it."
There was a great statement.
Sabotage it.
Yeah.
When Tam Adams said to her, when she offered, you know, some changes, like one of the changes that we're looking at is either, well, taking the horses and the dogs away from the police. Okay. That's what we're looking at. We have to get 15 commissioners, and that's tough. But he said, well, I don't want to do that. I'm not paying for that. It's not, and Joanne's great response is, it's not about you. It's about the people in the city.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what politicians do not understand.
No. We're seizing the power and using the power that we have.
Yeah.
And that scares them, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
And most people aren't doing that.
Anyway, you can check out my sign.
Yep.
You know, everybody, you gotta help. Corporations aren't people. We have a court system that was loaded with right-wing judges by Bush and Karl Rove. So now the corporations totally own everything that's happening, because they have enough money to do whatever. And if you work in a corporation, to the corporation, most corporations, there are good corporations that are, you know, responsible and do socially good stuff. But the majority of them, the only thing they care about is the bottom line, making a profit for the shareholders, not the workers. And the guys and people at the top get that money. So they think, the corporations just think their employees are a piece of meat.
Yep.
That's all you are to them. And, you know, we got going to wars and stuff. Well, since America is the corporate capital of the world now, it's all capital. Its definition is when the government and the corporations come together in an economic form, it's fascism. Well, here we are, hello. And all these wars are not to save the people or to protect the people. They're to go after resources for the corporations. You can just go around the world and see where we're protecting the oil interests, the resource interests, whatever. And we have the big military, but it's the military to make sure that other people like China don't take over those resources. So,
Rat race.
you know, I don't know, people, but the corporations, they have way too much power. It's time for the people to take back this country from corporations and fuck the judicial system because it's so fucking loaded with right-wing zealots. It's like you gotta just be active, do stuff, you know, talk to your neighbors,
get off your butt.
And you know, people who are losing their homes, it's all because of the corporations are corrupt and Wall Street criminals. They ought to be in jail. You know?
Thank you.
Who's that, Joe? Who's it?
It's healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
Human rights.
Let me zoom in on that. There's a healthcare thing going on tomorrow on Occupy Portland. I seen that going on.
I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to a health conference for Healthcare Now. But we have a healthcare committee through Occupy, and they're going to be there. And then some doctors are going to be speaking about the universal healthcare single payer movement. So yeah,
You know about the forum tonight? There's a forum that the candidates, 16 candidates, and it's being put on by the Green Party, and we're going to question them and ask them
That's
questions.
right. I did
So
read
if you can
something
get
about
somebody
that really
there,
quick.
because we're going to be allowed to ask questions.
Yeah, I think
And-
there'll be a few people there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just getting stronger. So I just went to my first spokes meeting last night to try to get more involved and get the word out there, at least about our healthcare disparities, but there are so many others, you know.
Well, you know, it's just like Occupy. People say, well, what is Occupy about? It's about taking our country back from the corporations because they're the ones that are screwing everything over. They're people and the whole system, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. The most recent article I just posted was about the $20 billion that we give to pharmaceutical companies to create new drugs. And I just read, because I was trying to find out how much they spend on commercials and pharmaceutical advertising, $240 billion on advertising they spend. That money could be going to our community.
Yeah.
A year.
Wow.
It's like, did we really need to give them tax subsidies? I mean, that's what, 500 million per state we could have had right there. So yeah, there's a lot of...
Where did you put that article?
On
post?
a Facebook page.
Oh,
I
Facebook?
have a Facebook page called Lights on Healthcare, and we meet regularly, and we did a teach-in last weekend.
Okay.
And
Lights on Healthcare.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're part of the crowd that's kind of promoting single payer before Occupy,
Yes.
all that stuff. So we're just hooked up on that thing.
Yeah. I know I started about a year ago as well, but I've got to say I'm really excited about the Occupy movement for this. It's just really...
Yeah, just gotta keep it
There's a
going.
great answer when people say, well, what is Occupy about? What is their demands?
Yeah.
Just to say to them, first explain to me, what does America stand for?
Right.
And then I'll tell you what Occupy stands for.
Right.
Because we can't figure out what the hell you stand for.
Right. Right.
So,
Kind of tricky way to get them to think about it.
Yeah.
They want it to fit in a neat little box. It's a whole host of issues. And
it's for you.
from oppression to accountability to corporatism to healthcare,
Right.
in the wars,
Yeah. Housing.
housing, homeless, food, everything. Yep. It's all of that
Yep.
and more.
Well, thanks,
Well, thank
guys.
you. What was your name?
Jennifer Blackburn.
Jennifer. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you. We're individuals for justice.
Great.
We try to be here every Friday.
Every Friday.
I'll see you then.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta go. We
You
got
guys gotta